We have with us today Virginia Irurita. She's the founder of Made for Spain and Portugal. Since 1999, she's been inspiring premium travelers to enjoy wonderful experience in the Iberian Peninsula. Virginia participated in IE Premium Travel Barometer. I want to thank her for that, and also thank you for being with us today. And the first question would be linked to the first issue that comes up in the barometer, which is personalization. And I would like to hear from you, what are the keys for personalizing a good service? Give us some tips about it.
Thank you very much for having me here. It's the opposite, it's an honor. And I believe in the world we live now, the key is the people. So speaking, taking the time to listen, to ask, to hear, and then knowing very well the product. So to be able to really match the best, in my case, of Spain and Portugal with the client and their wishes and likes and aspirations when traveling.
Okay, let's move on to the second issue that comes up in the barometer, which is the importance of experience design. And you've been in this business, designing experiences, for a long time. Do you really feel there's more value placed into this? Have you seen this evolve throughout the years you have been providing this service?
Well, it has also changed what we think experiences are. I believe there are like two ways or two options or two kind of experiences we're looking for when we travel. One is, like the really wow, amazing thing that is, blowing you away. That now is turning a little bit into what they are calling now the pop-up experiences. Out of nothing you create something and something happens and it's wow, and the next day there's nothing there again. But then we also have this other type of experiences, more attached to or closer to people, going back to people again, more focused, more like a sophisticated service. I was last week in a virtuoso property in the south of Portugal, in Villamonte, and as I checked in, I was thirsty in my room, so I asked for a teapot with mint tea, which they bring. It was great. I forgot about it. Next day, when I come back to my room after they clean the room, there's this beautiful tray with different pots. Mint leaves, chamomile leaves, small little fruits and lemons, so that I could do my own tea. So, that was an experience. Here I am a week after speaking about it. I was like blown away, and it was nothing. So, I think the magic of a trip is the combining the wow, but the very different wows. Some wows are very expensive and very incredibly difficult to put together and make it happen, and others are just the simple things in life.
Simple things, but this is connecting to a next element that comes up in the barometer, which is the importance of quality of service and also the importance of talent retention and training. So how much do you think this training of the team is going to result into a good experience or not? And you gave us a wonderful example, because to get such what you describe as simple things requires a lot of work to be done beforehand.
When we hire people in Made for Spain and Portugal, when I hire guides, you are looking for an attitude. You are either able to perceive and be able to give back and really provide the service, but that is inside you. And then you can train people. So training is very important, but you need to have in front of you a person that is willing to serve. We're in the service business. So it has to come from my insider heart to be willing to help you And then I get the training, which is amazingly important because, you know, we all need to learn. We come to the world knowing nothing. And then you are very able. But training is the most important, well, as important as getting the right person. We have a guest relations department, 4 people. All they do is take care of clients while they are on the road. These people are always, you know, when I say, well, if the telephone rings at 4 a.m., just let them, you know, leave a message. And then you hear, and then if you have to do something, you do it. Because it's 4 a.m., you need to sleep. And they say, no. How could I not answer the phone if it is ringing at 4 a.m.? Somebody's in need of help. So, and then you give the training, both.
How interesting that you put a lot of emphasis on the recruiting, no? Recruiting the right people that can later be trained. As a destination management company, the importance of your suppliers, no? The people you deal with, and getting to know them and understanding the service that they can provide, what other ingredients are key?
When I founded the company, you know, one of the first core values, what we are is we are a team. And that's the feeling. All of us together in Made for Spain and Portugal, but also with the guides, with the drivers, with the hoteliers, with everybody touching the traveling experience. So it is so important that we know the supplier, the provider of the experience, but it's also amazingly important not just knowing them, it's just connecting with them. We are together in this. So, you know, when I find a hotel or a host, a winemaker, I don't know, whoever, willing to, you know, help us be the best host of travelers, that at the end of the day is what we try to be. I mean, it's the aim of the entire company. We are host of travelers. We need to be together. We need to support them so they support us. So this is great because then when something happens, the magic is there because we are together in this. So it's not just knowing well the product or the supplier, is connecting to people again. Everybody is important, the traveler, but also...
We go back to people. It's interesting, in our barometer this year, the newcomers in position 9 and 10 have to do with people, connecting people that want to connect as they travel with friends and family, but also how the premium traveler wants to connect with the people in the countries that they visit. They want to connect with locals. So this issue of going back to people has come up in for the barometer is showing us the top management things. And it's good to see that you refer to this all the time. So you see this getting even more important in the future?
Sometimes I ask my travelers, why do you travel? I mean, what is to meet people, to learn how other people live, and to be transformed by that. Because, you know, I'm sure one of the things, you know, I keep on telling 90% of my clients are American. So one of the things I tell them when I chat with them is like, we always in Spain, in Portugal, have time every day for a coffee with a friend, for a glass of wine, to be with your 98-year-old aunt. I mean, people. And, you know, I'm sure they learn a bit about that. And then, you know, they try to have that extra time or have the pleasure of these little things, share how we live. So it's also the transformative travel everybody's speaking about, but it's true. When you know, learn the new recipe, being able to cook that for your friends when you're home. If you travel just looking like, you know, window watching, it's boring. You want to touch people and be with people and learn things. So, indeed.
Transformative travel, that sounds fantastic. Tell us about your American clients. Most of your clients come from the US. What would you say that it's specific about them, or what are the trends that you see in the premium US traveler?
Well, the US is enormous. So travelers my clients come mainly from the two coasts, Texas and Illinois. more or less. And it's very, very different. You know, they are very different type of people. All of them want to learn when they travel, to share the culture, to meet the local people, get in their homes, and give back also. They are willing to see ways to give back. So I think that's very common to all of them.
Another topic that has come up in the barometer over the last 3 editions that we have been doing this research is gastronomy, and the importance of gastronomy to build an experience. And we see more and more experiences or activities that are defined around gastronomy. Do you see this trend going forward? Is there any other one that you see coming up?
It's never stopping.
It will never
We
stop.
love eating. It's in Spain and Portugal. It's
And drinking.
Exactly, food and wine. Don't tell me I have a vineyard in the Douro Valley. So yes, it's evolving, definitely. When, you know, like 15, 18 years ago, it was all about Michelin star chefs. Now they love the little shop in the corner serving the best mushrooms. So it's a combination. And that also goes into the experiences. We take clients to get closer to that in terms of maybe in the Basque Country, take them to visit the vegetable gardens of the Michelin star chefs, but also in the Algarve, you know, spending the morning with a fisherman, exploring a natural park, ending up tasting oysters with some Alvarinho wine. So yes, gastronomy is there to stay, I believe.
Give us some image that we can keep from this conversation of one of these extraordinary experiences. The tea one was wonderful. We'll remember that. Some other thing that you would describe as a memorable experience that includes personalization, that shows the good recruitment and training of the team, and that comes to mind as something that you've lived over the last times and that sticked in your mind?
I don't know what to say. We had this 85-year-old amazing woman with, you know, big character from New York, one of those matriarchs. And she was turning 85, so she was bringing the family. It was to Spain to celebrate. And, you know, she put together, we work with her, we did a great trip. Everybody in the family enjoyed. She was very detail-oriented, so the kids, all the people in the middle age, her age also, you know, everybody enjoyed, everybody had a little bit for themselves. And she loved wine, so we had this farewell dinner in the, you know, beautiful house palace of a friend of mine, everything organized. It was the farewell dinner, it was perfect, the music. And we kept on hearing during the trip from every supplier that she loved personalization. And we knew she loved wine. So we decided on, you know, at the very last minute to put the labels, personalize the labels in all the wine bottles. And she was like, it cost nothing. I mean, we didn't charge her. It was like, but she was like, oh my God, because you need to hear what makes the person by your side. And, you know, our people was able to really listen throughout the trip. And she loved it. So it was the perfect guinda, we say in Spain, you know, the top of the cake. And it was nothing, it cost no money. And this is very important, the combination of the very expensive with the non-costly things. I mean, really moving the person, not just because they have money and we can, but because there's a lot of human beings around during the trip that are listening and are, you know, making it happen.
Thank you very much. That image will stay with us, as well as the one about the tea. And thank you for everything you share and your insights. And we hope to see you again and definitely be with us to participate in next year's IE Premium Travel Barometer.
Muchas gracias. Thank you.